Hey,
Hello, my name is Selena.
and my name's Theone, and you are listening to Piping Hot.
Hello, everyone, and welcome back. Did you miss us?
Because we missed you.
Yeah.
When I was thinking about how I wanted us to not reintroduce ourselves, but I was thinking we could say welcome back Hotties. Like, get it? Like, that could be our fandom name, like the Hotties, because Piping Hot Hotties, you know what I'm saying? Like,
Okay,
all
I
I'm
can
saying
see
is
it.
we should TM that. Like, we should
Right now.
literally right now.
I can see it. I can see
Right?
it.
I'm just saying.
Yeah.
So,
I love it.
Yeah, I am very excited to be back. I think it was a much needed, good break, but I'm
Yeah.
ready. We're back and better than ever.
Yeah.
Piping
It
hot.
wasn't Piping hot. Yeah, it was a nice break. It was kind of weird not to record for
was.
so long. I mean, obviously we talked.
Yep.
The podcast is not the only time that we talked. So
Yeah.
we were obviously talking throughout the month, but recording itself it's just so different.
No, it is 100%.
But yeah, I'm excited. I'm excited to be back and recharged and rested.
Yes, I know. Seriously, I'm extra rested today because I took a half day off of work to just
Yes.
rest because I was kind of having a headache. I
Yeah.
do feel better now though, so that's good.
That's good.
And I
Yeah.
have to be in the office tomorrow, so I will definitely take the much needed rest.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I still work this morning, and kids are on school break, so it's not like it's busy anyway. So,
Why are they on school break?
well, Massachusetts has this weird February break thing, but I remember I mentioned that to
Oh.
someone back home recently too, and they were like, "What's that?" I was like, "Oh yeah, I guess forget. We don't have that in the Midwest." So
Yeah.
yeah,
Oh,
they get
interesting.
a
Because
week off.
Do they get spring break too?
I think so.
Whoa.
Yeah.
What?
Yeah.
That's
I
amazing.
know, right?
Dang.
So lucky them. Selena,
Nice.
tell everyone what you've been up to lately. What
Oh
what
my
are your life
God.
updates? Fill
Yeah,
us
it's
in.
been a hot second. I had to look at the calendar. I was like, okay, when was the last time we recorded? When was our last episode? What has
know.
happened since
Literally.
then? So I think the last time that we had recorded, I was going to go and get my new tattoo, which I've had
Yes.
now for a month,
You
which
guys,
is crazy.
it looks so
Crazy.
good. Wait, when are you getting your other one?
I'm getting it this weekend.
Oh my god. I was like, I know it's coming soon, but oh my gosh.
Yeah. It's so
Are you
crazy. Yeah. So
excited?
yes, I am excited. I am nervous though. I'm not scared. I'm nervous, but because this one, the one that I got on my left side hurts so bad. I'm not ready for the pain. I'm not mentally ready for
Yeah.
it.
Can they just
I think
put
they're
you to sleep?
right, exactly.
Anesthesia? Yeah.
Yeah, because I think when I do my tattoos, they're either really, really small and we can get them done really quickly, or they hurt a shit ton.
Yeah.
And then I don't get another tattoo for 2 years. So it's ignorant bliss where it's
Yeah.
oh, I don't remember it at all.
Yeah.
This I remember every single second
Because they're
of
so
it.
close together.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah. So,
Crazy.
it's fine. It's fine. I'm hoping that we can just do it in one session like we did on my left side. Just rip off the Band-Aid and then it'll be done. I don't have to go back in or whatever. And I'm thinking we can do it in one session, so it'll be fine. But I'm very excited. I already have my snacks. I already have my
Good.
book that I'm gonna read. I have
Nice.
I know how I'm gonna pass time in the chair for
Good.
4
That's
or 5
important.
hours.
That's important.
Exactly.
Okay.
Yeah.
Love it.
What else? I spent some time with my in-laws last weekend, which was
Nice.
fun. I got to see my little baby nephew Henry, who is absolutely
love
adorable. Yeah, he is just amazing. I love him so much. So that was really nice to see him and play
Nice.
with him. Yeah. And then I'm also kind of in the depths of my adult fantasy of drafting that, which I've kind of mentioned to you.
Yeah. Yeah, you have.
Since we've talked. Yeah. I think over the past week and a half, I've drafted over 16K words. So
You
I've
know
just
what,
been like,
Selena,
I
you
just,
are crazy. You're
I've just
nuts.
been like I've been going. It's been like flowing out, and I'm like, I need this on paper.
Pop off. Yeah, you know what? Good for you.
Yeah.
Good for you.
Yeah, so that's been good. But yeah, I think that's it for my life updates. It's been kind of quiet-ish, but yeah, it's been good. What about you? What have you been up to?
Um, sorry, there was like a loud noise.
I heard
Like,
that.
okay.
I heard
I was like,
that.
it's not just me. I got so scared. I was like, who's coming through my wall right now? No, I honestly, I was trying to look back and think back too, and I really feel like life's just been life. I got a
Yeah.
promotion at work, so now I'm Youth Mobile Crisis
Yes.
Intervention Supervisor.
Oh
So
my
I've had
gosh.
a couple, almost a full 2 weeks now in the new role. So it's been keeping me
Wow,
a
yeah.
lot more busy, but
I bet.
it's also stuff that I've kind of already done, but just in a little
Good.
bit of a different capacity. So
Yeah.
it's more the supervisor stuff that I'm trying to get used to because you know me, I'm not super like you do this, you do that, you know? So I got to get better
Yeah,
at just being comfortable with that, you know?
definitely.
So that's been fun. I'm trying to think what else I've done. There was something else I was gonna say, but now I can't remember what it was. Oh crap. Selena, I really just like actually don't remember what I was gonna say.
You know
I
what?
literally
And
had a
that's
thought
fine.
and I was excited to talk about it, but I what the heck?
That's fine. If it pops up, just feel free to blurt it out. Like,
Okay, great.
whatever.
Like I will interrupt no matter
Yes.
what's going on.
Yeah,
To
yeah,
sure.
totally
Yeah, because
fine.
the only exciting thing in my life cannot just be work promotion. I haven't.
Work
I still
promotion.
haven't touched the 4 last chapters of my book.
Yeah.
I have no idea what it was, but honestly, life's
That's
just
fine.
been. Oh, I know what it was.
Perfect.
See if I talk long enough, eventually
Yeah.
I'll get where I need to go.
Nice.
My cousin's engaged.
Yes.
So
yes.
yeah, the first of the younger cousins to get engaged. It's like wild
Yeah.
because I feel like she's like my little sister, and
Yeah.
here she is getting engaged, and I'm like, what do you mean you're getting married? Like I'm not even an adult
Yeah.
yet. Like what are you talking
Yeah,
about?
yeah.
So like
I'm still a teenager, like
literally,
myself.
but I'm so excited. I'm gonna be a bridesmaid, so you know I love
love
a good
it.
excuse to like get a dress, do
Yeah.
wedding stuff. I literally love wedding stuff, so I was like, please let me know if you need anything at all because I will do
Yeah.
any and all things for this because I love weddings.
Yeah.
Bless me.
Bless you.
Thank you. But yeah, so that's probably the most exciting. And
Wow.
yeah, it's not happening to me, but I feel like it's happening to me because I'm so excited. I literally
Yeah.
was like crying for 2 days after, and then I was just like sent her a text out of nowhere. I was like, I love you, and I just want you to be happy. And I just like cried, and I was like, what? I don't know. I'm like all over the place, so I'm very, very excited.
It does sound like it was yours.
I know.
Like your engagement,
Literally.
your wedding. I'm just kidding.
Literally. And this also isn't like an update because I haven't started yet, but I've been really, time to get real, guys. I've been really breaking out with my acne. It's really bad, and I don't know
Oh, yeah.
why. So I had one good product from this line. It's Cocoa Kind. They're not sponsoring us. They should be because I just spent so much money on them. But
Actually, we don't know what the brand name is. We're just kidding. I'm kidding. We're not gonna plug it. No, I'm kidding. It's too late for that.
They have the only SPF that hasn't broken me out, and I really, really like it. And so I said, you know what? I'm just going to do a full skincare routine with them. I finally got the last of it in the mail today, so I'm going to start tonight with like the full routine of it.
Nice.
Because
Wait.
there's products like have not broken me out. So
Wait, what is it called again?
Cocoa Kind.
Cocoa Kind.
They have it at Ulta. It's fairly reasonable price. Not if you buy it all at once, but their sunscreen is amazing.
Oh, okay. I like their packaging.
Right? It's really pretty.
It's so cute.
Yeah.
And you said it's at Ulta?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, cool.
Yep.
I am overdue for an Ulta trip. It's really bad.
Girl, you gotta
It's so
go.
bad. You know what? I've been trying to be on a budget because I'm gonna be honest with you. December was really expensive. It was really, really expensive.
Yeah.
So I was like trying to take January as like, you know what? We're not going to spend anything. February rolls around and I'm like, oh my God, I did so good. You know what I deserve? Why does it happen? Why does it literally happen? I don't even want to tell you how much money I dropped on a special edition book series that I just bought the other day.
Wait, I do want to know how much you... I really actually need to know how much money you spent. Like,
okay, it was a special, limited time special edition.
Why am I nervous?
All 6 books of this series called The Vampire Academy, which is like the first series that I ever read that got me into reading. So it has a very, very special place in my heart.
How much?
Special editions, new covers, spray painted edges. It has like the author's signature and annotations and all this and like special stories and all that stuff in it, right? The listing was $245. After tax and shipping, it was like $280. And my friend, her book comes out next month, and she also has a special edition of her book coming out. So I'm gonna buy that.
To get that, yeah.
Exactly. That's another $50 out there. Yeah.
But you know what, Selena? You love it. It's bringing you joy. So
exactly.
There is no world where I would ever fault you for that. And no one should. No one should try to take away your joy. No one should try to take away your shine. Okay?
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Thank you. You know what? I am an adult with adult money. And I can do whatever the fuck I want.
Right? Yeah. And you did so good for January. You have to like make up for all the money you didn't spend. So really, it's like free money.
It is.
Because
girl math.
It is.
Girl math right there.
It is. Yeah.
Yeah. So.
Anyways,
I still need to go to Ulta.
I
need to go to Ulta. Yeah. I will send you a haul whenever I go. Yes. I don't know when.
I'll once we're done recording, I also want to show you all the stuff I got. Yeah.
Oh, yes. Perfect. Cool. Okay. I would love that. Anything else like life related?
Nah, man. Shawty, I'm just chilling.
Okay. Nice. Sweet. But so before we go into, our sections.
We have to have a really serious conversation with you guys.
Not really. You know what? It might be serious for Theoni, but for me, I'm just chilling.
Nah, Shawty, I'm chilling. I just said that. You stole my line.
I did.
Sorry, go ahead. I'm just done.
Yeah, so we just wanted to let you guys know a couple of updates for the podcast. So starting with this episode, we will now be doing 2 episodes a month, which will come out every other week instead of an episode every week. I think Theoni and I had just reevaluated on our month break, and this is what we have capacity for. So we are excited to move forward with this new frequency.
But that means every episode that does come out is going to be the best thing that you've ever heard.
It's going to be so special.
And honestly, you guys, you're going to be anticipating the next episode that it's going to be even more exciting every time an episode comes out. So honestly, you're welcome, is what I'm trying to say.
Yeah. We accept your thanks.
We also take monetary donations. Just kidding. Oh my God. Check out our Patreon.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
All right. What have you been reading, watching, and listening to?
Okay, so reading. We'll start with reading. Yes. Yeah. So I have read quite a few things. So I'm just trying to figure out where to start. We both read House of Flame and Shadow by Sarah J. Maas, which when we get to your reading section, then we can do like a little overview of that because I'm sure we're going to spoil a few things. So if you haven't read Crescent City, you'll have to pause that. So I read This Spells Love by Katie Robb. It was my last book of the month book. I think I had just been reading it when I last talked about it. I rated it 4 stars. It was good. Okay. It was easy read. I read Look Closer by David Ellis. That was like a murder mystery thriller type vibe. That was actually really,
Oh,
really good. My friend had gotten that
fun.
for me. And obviously very different than what I usually read. I
Yeah.
rated that one 4 stars. I think I would have rated it higher had it not been, there were still like a lot of unknowns, but I think there could have been more like twists a little bit, even though there were a lot of
Oh,
twists. I just
got it.
think for a book like that, you expect something to really take you by surprise, you know?
Yeah, that makes sense.
I read The Friend Zone by Abby Jimenez,
Yeah.
which I really like that author. I really like that book. I rated it 4 stars. And this is one of her standalone series. I think there's 3 books in that one. So I'm going to read
Okay.
the other 2.
Nice.
And then I also read or just finished up me and Selena's monthly read, The Very Secret Society of Irregular Witches, which maybe we can talk about that now since I brought it up.
Yeah.
Overall, I think I rated it like 4 stars. It's not
Mm-hmm.
literary heaven. It's not the
Mm-mm.
most amazing book ever written, but I thought it was really wholesome. It was secretly very
Yeah.
spicy, which I'm not going
Yeah.
to turn down. Let me tell
Yeah.
you.
Yeah.
But I really liked it. It just like made me happy. It gave House in the
Yes.
Cerulean Sea vibes, and I love that book.
Yeah.
So yeah, what did you think of it overall? Even though we've already talked about
Yeah,
it.
I mean, it was very cozy. It's an easy read. It's like an easy feel good read. So if you are in a book slump or you just need something like a palate cleanser, like I
Yeah,
would definitely recommend
yeah,
it
it's
because it was
perfect for
so
that.
easy to like like fly through, but also it like kept you reading because the way that the author kind of dropped hints, you're like putting stuff together and thankfully like everything is like tied up pretty nicely.
Yeah,
But yeah, it was just like really cute and
yeah,
just wholesome. And I think I also rated it 4 stars as well.
yeah.
So
I feel like a
yeah.
good, easy, like wholesome book is needed every once in a while. You know.
Yes.
So
Yeah, I agree.
I'm gonna be
Yeah.
reading When Grumpy Met Sunshine
Yes.
next.
Yes.
So I'll have to keep you guys posted how that one goes. But
Nice.
what have you been reading, Selena?
I've been reading a lot too. I've been
Yeah.
trying to get like ahead of my Goodreads goal because
Yeah.
I'm psycho like that. So even though
What
it's
is
only
Selena
February.
if she don't have a goal?
Exactly.
Yeah.
So, I think the last time that we had talked, like the last episode that we had recorded, I was still reading Ninth House by Lee Bardugo, and I finished that. It was fine. I rated it 3 stars.
Ooh, she said no.
Yeah, the climax really ruined it for me, and that's why I
Oh.
bumped it down.
Fair.
So it's fine. I finished Emily Wilde's Map of the Otherlands by Heather Fawcett, which is the second book in the Emily Wilde trilogy.
Nice.
I just love that world so much. I
Yeah.
love the characters. Again, similar with like the Very Secret Society of Irregular Witches. It's just like cozy,
Love
cute
it.
vibes, and the like love story is so subtle and just so cute. Like it was great.
Nice.
Read House and Flame of Shadows, which we'll come back to. I also read The Nanny by Lana Ferguson.
What did you think?
So here's the thing. I think
Yeah.
kids in books is a hit or miss for me.
Yep.
It's like I know immediately if I am okay with kids in books.
Fair.
And then I also know immediately if I am not.
Yeah.
Like I think it just depends on the premise and just
I
don't know.
feel like kids in books too, it depends how the author writes their dialogue because
Yeah.
I feel like you always kind of use the kid as some sort of, it sounds horrible to say this, but you almost use the kid as some sort of device, right? And they can serve as like a big part of it. But like when you're writing a kid, there's a kid in the book that I'm writing. And so what I found difficult is like finding the right balance of like them be able to kind of like knock some sense into people or have important things to say, but also
Yeah.
sounding like a kid and not being so insightful that like it's unbelievable, you know?
Yeah. I don't know. I mean, it was very spicy and I liked the spicy scenes, but like the plot in general I was not vibing with. And so
Yeah.
I was like, okay, I guess.
Yeah, I think there's a lot better like spicy books out there, and I think this
Yes.
is another one that Book Talk hyped up so much. I think I still rated it 4 stars. I was just
Yeah.
checking. But I think there's so many other books in that same vein that are so much
Yes.
better.
honestly, like that other book that we had read, what was it? It's like on my shelf. I don't remember. Oh, I can literally see it on my shelf. I don't know. We did it for a book club read last year, and it was like the three kids with the girl. What's that name? What is it called?
I'm
something Bride or
no.
something.
I need to know.
Okay, wait, here. I have my Goodreads up. Change of Plans.
Change of Plans, yes.
By Dylan Newton.
Yeah, I like that one.
See, I like that one too. I felt like that one, like I didn't mind the kids in that.
Yep.
Obviously, don't mind the kids at all in The House in the Carillion Sea. Fucking love the kids in that one. I was fine with the kids in The Very Secret Society of Irregular Witches.
Yeah.
I think it just like depends, you
Totally.
know. And then I also read Anxious People by Frederick Backman, who is the author of like
Normal People, right?
No, I think that's like Sally Rooney or whatever.
Okay, gotcha.
He's the author of A Man Called Ove or whatever.
Oh, gotcha.
Yeah.
Okay.
That was a book club read, and I rated it 3 stars.
She said,
I didn't really like it, but yeah, so it's fine. But yeah, and then I read The Very Secret Society of Irregular Witches. But we can go back to Hofas.
Yes. So if you guys are Sarah J. Maas fans and you haven't read the Crescent City series yet, or honestly, if you have not read like all of the
Throne of Glass,
Sarah J. Maas, Throne of Glass, ACOTAR, like skip forward like a few minutes. I think the more that I've sit with it.
Yes, I was going to ask you about that.
Yes. I have come to appreciate it more than when I first finished it.
How interesting.
I said appreciate it, not necessarily like it, okay?
Okay.
Because
sorry.
Because I can appreciate how many things came together of like from Throne of Glass and ACOTAR and like how you could see all of her thoughts finally coming together, and I can appreciate that. But I will say also the more I've sat with it, the more irritated I've gotten, honestly, because I loved Bryce as a character. I feel like this book just made her very insufferable. I think it's still crazy to me to think that this book took place over like 5 days. Like that doesn't... It just feels like such a massive thing to happen in such a short period of time and made the stakes feel lower, I think, when this could have been like such an explosive book. And I still think it was like this book was trying really hard to be like a Kingdom of Ash from like Throne of Glass, but it just wasn't, because it was trying to have all these different storylines coming together at the end to beat the bad guy. And in Throne of Glass, she did it so well and so perfectly that like this one, the sacrifice that ended up happening with like Jessica felt so anticlimactic. Yeah. And then I also think the storylines, particularly with Therian and Ethan, felt so pointless. I was so bored. I didn't understand why it was so important, like their missions. I saw TikTok saying that like Ethan's storyline was so pointless and his brother has been dead for 3 books and he did more for the plot than Ethan.
Oh my gosh.
I was dying, but like also not wrong.
Right.
Yeah, right. And
oh my god,
I really do feel like it was Sarah J. Maas trying to like set up another Crescent City book for Therian and Ethan, but like also because it was so irritating, I like feel less excited. And it also stinks because I liked Ethan.
I know you did. You loved him. Loved.
Yeah, I loved him.
Okay.
Yeah.
Interesting because like I understand. I think as a writer, I understand like what she was going for, and I could see all of her plot lines and like the reason why she did X, Y, and Z. But I think because she was so focused on trying to set up other people's storylines, she suffered the current storylines that we were supposed to be focusing on. Yeah. And I think it really shows in Hofas, unfortunately. Yeah. Because, for example, again, spoiler for Throne of Glass, Dorian and Manon, like I feel their storyline was wrapped up but it was also kept open enough that like she could revisit them if she wanted to in the Throne of Glass universe. But their storyline did not make Aylin's storyline suffer.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
That's such a good point. Yeah.
Like it was so balanced like perfectly that I feel like the balance in Holdfast was so weird, and I just, you could really tell that like she was trying to set something up really hard, and I'm just like,
yeah, it just, I feel like this is honestly the first of her books where I felt kind of let down, and
Same.
I think part of that is because I just have such high expectations, and the way the last book left off, like, what kind of expectations does she expect us to have?
Yeah.
But, like, it's just crazy that, like, this is the book that we waited 2 years for.
I
you know?
know. I hate it. I literally hate it. You know what? You know what I think she needs to do? She needs to stop doing trilogies, focusing on one character, and then doing another trilogy focusing on other characters within the same universe. Girl, you should follow the contemporary romance format of doing one book per couple. Like, I think right now she's like suffering too much of like trying to cram one couple in to this trilogy and then also trying to set up everyone else. I'm like,
and with that being said, I think it worked in ACOTAR the way that she's done it with that, but again, it's like the same format is not gonna work for everything. Like, I think for ACOTAR it worked where she told like Feyre and Rhys's story and then Nesta's. Like, it made sense in my eyes. Throne of Glass, I think, made sense between the different storylines, but then thinking about and then thinking of Crescent City, I'm like, she should have formatted that more like Throne of Glass in my eyes, because there's so many different things, and I think it would have made it so much more successful than focusing on like Bryce and Hunt. But then now in this book, trying to do I don't know, and not that she wasn't doing that, but it felt different. I don't know.
It very, you know what? I think the reason why, though, is because I look at ACOTAR as something completely different because it's in first person, because it is Sarah in Feyre's shoes. And I think ACOTAR is so emotionally driven, and it's not plot driven like Throne of Glass, where literally everything matters. Whatever action they take, it matters. Whereas ACOTAR is very, very emotionally charged. And so I think that's why it feels different. And then once we get to Crescent City, it's like, maybe it should have been a Throne of Glass. Like, I think it should have taken that route. It's fine. It's fine.
So
it's fine.
I'm excited for the next book she puts out, because I'm pretty sure it's going to be in the ACOTAR universe. So I'm excited to get back to that. But
did you hear about that one girl on TikTok who read ACOTAR and then she heard ACOTAR characters in Crescent City 3, so she just read Crescent City 3?
That's so chaotic.
That's psycho, in my opinion.
Especially because, honestly, it ended up being that, like, ACOTAR was barely in it.
Barely.
Here's another gripe I have with this book, okay?
Yeah.
I've seen both sides on TikTok where people are like, it's a Crescent City novel. People shouldn't have expected it to be an ACOTAR novel.
Yeah.
But also, I have Sarah to blame for that. And I love Sarah, but she left off the book with like, hello, Bryce Quinlan, my name is Rhys. And then Rhys was barely in it. And I understand why she did what she did, but I feel like there was so much, the way she left it off felt like so much more buildup than for what we got.
I think that was the whole device, though, unfortunately. Like, she knew what she was doing.
Because now I feel let down.
So then what would you have wanted her to do instead?
Either more ACOTAR or, like, just don't.
I think she did what she wanted to do with a cliffhanger for Crescent City 2. I can give her credit for that. She wanted to leave everyone,
but then
she wanted to leave everyone hanging like that. I am with the first group that you had mentioned, that it's a Crescent City book. Like, of course, Rhys is not going to be in the book. It's kind of like, I don't know, like, I think it makes sense that like Rhys was in Silver Flames because it's an ACOTAR book. So it makes sense because like Rhys has other shit to do. Like, he can't just babysit Bryce, right?
Yeah. But then the fact that it was like Nessa and Azriel, I almost feel like that. I don't know. I have gripes with it. We don't need to go in circles. It is what it is, you know?
Yeah, no, you're right.
Yeah.
You're right. It's fine.
Yeah, it's fine. Okay.
Oh, what are you watching?
I was just going to ask you the same thing.
Oh my gosh.
So I have still been just watching Gilmore Girls. I just finished season 3, so I'm just starting season 4 now. And Abbott Elementary came back, so I've been trying to catch up with that. I think I'm on episode 3 right now, and there's 4 episodes out. So, which I'm very, very happy it finally came back. I love that show so much. I think it's so funny.
They like literally was just renewed for season 4 too, which is great. So.
It should be like that show is so good. I love it.
Yes,
yeah,
me too.
What are you watching?
Nothing really. Honestly, canceling all of my subscriptions has really freed up my time. So I've just been watching some anime with Jack and then some of my friends as well. But
nice.
Today I watched a couple of Studio Ghibli films while I was like writing.
Yeah.
So that was really nice. I will say the live action show of Avatar: The Last Airbender was officially released on Netflix. So I might have to do like a free trial of Netflix because I'm not giving them any more money.
Well, I was going to ask you, so like, but obviously then Bridgerton comes out May, June. So what are you going to do for that?
I have way more emails that I can use.
She said, I'm not paying you money, Netflix.
No, absolutely not.
Papa.
I'll cross that bridge when I get there.
Fair enough.
But yeah, I think that's it for me.
What have you been listening to?
Not too much. I've kind of been bouncing around, especially in the gym. I've been bouncing around between like K-pop and just like R&B.
Nice.
But I have been listening to Jaguar 2 by Victoria Monet.
Nice.
And it's a bop if you haven't listened to it. It's so good. My favorite song is probably Cadillac.
Okay.
I just love it. It's so good. I'm like, yes, she should have won. And she did win Best New Artist. And she deserves it, okay?
She, honestly, seeing so many people on TikTok, particularly white people, being like, why did Victoria Monet win Best New Artist? Like, who even is she? That made me want to like actually fight people in the comments. Like I almost started like typing shit. I was like, how dare you? Like I was like, she has been in the industry for so long. She had a huge year. Just because you don't listen to R&B doesn't mean she doesn't deserve it. Like I got so pissed seeing that.
Same. I was like, whatever, I'll ignore it.
Everyone's like Noah Khan should have won it. And I'm like, Noah Khan's great. But like Victoria Monet.
Yeah.
Okay.
She deserves her flowers,
She does. She freaking does.
Yeah. And then I've also been listening to Hiss by Megan Thee Stallion, mostly in the gym because it gets me going, but it's a great song.
The beginning of that song is so aggressive when it's like, I gotta get this shit off my chest. Listen to, or whatever she says.
Yeah. Honestly, I vibe with it.
Yeah.
I'm like, okay.
No.
Okay.
All right. Get off your chest, girl.
Yeah. And then I don't know when it was released, but there was a new version of Yes and by Ariana Grande featuring Mariah Carey that came out, don't know when, but I just wanted your thoughts on it because I don't think we've talked about that yet.
Yes, I actually had this as one of my like pop culture items.
Oh,
but
I'm sorry. We can skip to it.
I am happy to talk about it right now.
Okay.
So I will never say hate about this because I know how, well, actually I will say hate about it, but I have to respect how much it's meant to Ariana Grande, and I have to respect Mariah Carey. She's one of the greatest voices of all time. This was a huge collab, but I will say I'm disappointed that they chose this song to collab on.
I agree.
I don't think that this song makes sense as a duet with anybody, to be honest. Like no matter who it was, I think it would have felt weird. Also, I think they've actually fixed it on Spotify, I think, because when it was first mixed, she was way louder and more aggressive. And she's still loud and aggressive, but it's not as bad as it was before. So
I guess I didn't realize that.
Yeah.
Okay.
But when I first listened to it, I feel like the harmonies came in too aggressive. I think the whistle notes at the beginning didn't build, like, because obviously Yes and has that whole like intro part, and because they put in those whistles, I think they could have waited to put those later. It didn't build correctly. I think our harmonies came in too aggressive, but I will say what I did really like was the bridge with Mariah's like ad libs on top of it. I thought that was really good, and like I think that worked with both of their voices. And then there were parts of the last chorus I really liked where they were like doing stuff, but also it was like, who can whistle tone louder a little bit. It felt like a lot, and I wish they had just like edited it down just a little, you know.
Yeah.
What are your thoughts? Sorry, I kind of just tore it to shreds, but honestly, I've still been listening to it because I love them both. So
that's fine. Honestly, like when I first listened to it, it was in the car and it wasn't as loud as like I could, you know, like I wish I would have listened to it with like headphones on first. But when I first listened to it in the car, like it's their harmonies in like the pre-chorus, I think, right?
Put your lipstick on.
Yes.
That's
a lot.
That is the part that I think is the most like grating, honestly.
Like why is it that way though? Like I think I think like what you said, it's just like it's not a good duet song. It shouldn't have been a duet song.
I saw a TikTok where they were like, Ariana and Mariah, neither of them wanted the lower harmony, so Mariah just went up.
Oh, you're right. Honestly.
But like honestly,
yeah. I don't know. See, here's the thing. I think I'm also biased too because I love Kelly Clarkson, but I think a collab with Ariana Grande and Mariah Carey should have been something like what Ari did with Kelly on that Christmas track that they did.
Yeah,
where both of them shine. You know?
Exactly. I think they should have done a song that like was more ballady or more suited to like a duet or a song specifically written to be a duet.
Yes, exactly.
When you have such powerful voices, you have to make sure that it's like written in a way where they're not going to clash. This clashed. Santa Can't You Hear Me did not clash.
No, it's such a good song.
It
and
is.
Both of them shine so great, but the duet parts are also amazing. Like amazing. Like I wish they had something like that, but
I agree.
They don't.
I know. I know.
Yeah. Anyways, what other stuff have you been listening to?
Okay, yes. I actually have quite a few.
Okay.
So I have been listening to, I'm just going to go through my February 2024 playlist with you guys.
Oh, okay, yeah, let's do it.
So I have Bad Decisions by Bobby Andanov, spicy song. That is a spicy song. I have a song Too Late to Love You by X Habit, which is also a spicy song.
Nice.
I've been listening to OMG by Suki Waterhouse, which typically her music has not been my vibe, but I really, really like that one.
Nice.
I've been listening to Back on 74 by Jungle, which there was like a little bit of a TikTok trend about that a while back, and that was really good. I've been listening to 3D featuring Jack Harlow, which is by Jungkook. Don't Go Insane by DPR Ian. I don't know. These are like random artists. Some of them popped up on my Discover Weekly. I've been listening to Standing Next to You, the Usher remix, which is another Jungkook song.
Okay, wait. It's so good.
It's so good.
It's so good.
I like the original, but the one with Usher hits different.
Yes!
You're right. That's a song where it made sense to have a duet.
Yes! Oh, no. I'm so in the same boat. Standing Next to You is a fucking bop. And then I saw that Usher was featured on it, and I was like, oh, that's so interesting. Like, let me just listen to it, because I don't know what it would sound like. It hits. It's so good.
It hits.
It's
so good. I've been listening to No God by Sam Smith.
Oh,
that's such a good song. It's so good. I came back to it, and I was like, wait, this hits.
It's so good. So good.
I've also been listening to What If I Took It Off For You by Nemesis. That song, I think it's a few years old now, but I just discovered it. Selena, you will love it. You will like.
Do I know this song? Do I know the song? Wait, what is it called again?
What If I Took It Off For You by Nemesis. It's
I know the song.
Really?
It's so good. It's her voice, fantastic.
Oh my gosh.
But the song
So
in
good.
general, wait,
Amazing.
you just like revived
Do you
it
want
for
to-
me.
let
'cause
me-
I-
I'll play a little. Wait, let me.
Yes!
You screamed. I want to take off the lighter. Sorry, I need to listen to it now.
It's such a heartbreaking song, but it's so
is.
gorgeous.
It's
Honestly,
literally so good.
honestly, that reminds me of Mika from the book that we just read.
Yeah. My God.
Stop.
Okay.
So
Anyways. I know.
Okay.
And then the last one I've been listening to is Bloodstone by Guy Sebastian, because they finally put it on frickin' Spotify.
No, they
guys,
didn't.
I sang
No,
this
they
song for
didn't.
my senior year in a cappella back in 2019. So that was like that was 5 years ago, Selena.
Ew, don't say that.
Now I want to throw up. But for the longest time, they only had it on YouTube of this music video, and it was not on like streaming. They finally added it, and I have gotten back into it. And there's a reason I chose that song. I love that song. It's so good.
Wow, it just took 5 years to add it to Spotify.
Literally. Oh my gosh. So yeah.
Wow, you've been listening to some bomb stuff.
Yeah.
Oh
right?
my gosh, I love it. I
Thank
literally
you.
love it.
Thank you. Oh my gosh.
I think that's it, right? For our
that's
consuming
it.
section? Cool,
Yeah.
cool.
Okay. Should we jump into our topic of the day? You want to tell people what we're talking about?
Yeah, so because it's been a hot second since we have recorded, we just wanted to take time to do some pop culture catch-up items on all the things that we've missed this past month. So,
Alrighty.
who wants to start?
I think you go first, since I already did my rant about Yes and Remix with Mariah Carey. So
You're right.
yeah.
Honestly, it was a valid rant, though.
Thank you very much.
Okay, well, the first one, you shouldn't be surprised. Taylor Swift announced her newest album, The Tortured Poets Department,
Yes.
at the Grammys earlier this month, which is releasing April 19th. And I am so excited for this album because I truly think it will be a tell-all about her relationship with Joe. And you know me, I'm a nosy bitch. I love the gossip. I love the tea. So I want it. I want every stage of grief that she can give me. And I'm really, really excited. One thing that I did want to point out, or maybe chat about too, were the two features on this album, which Post Malone is featured on Fortnite, and then Florence and the Machine, I don't remember what track she's featured on.
Something with a lot of exclamation points.
Florida.
Yeah. Okay. It's like
And so those are the only two features on the album, which is totally fine. I'm fine with that. But I just think it'll be really interesting because I feel like Post Malone and Florence are just so different from what Taylor is. You know what I mean?
And they both have very distinct sounds. So it'll be very interesting.
Exactly.
I'm curious to hear your thoughts. I'm not going to say too much because I am not like, as you know, I'm not like a Swiftie, but as a Swiftie, I'm curious to hear your thoughts because after Taylor announced the album, she got a lot of like hate or pushback on social media about her announcing it at the Grammys and just like kind of how she was handling that. What are your thoughts about that?
I don't care. She did what she's gonna do, and I think she's damned if she does, and she's damned if she doesn't. She also said in Japan that she was gonna announce Tortured Poets Department in Japan if she didn't win anything. Yeah. And the reason why she did it so early is because she didn't think she was going to win Album of the Year. So that's why she looked so surprised at the end of the show. Well, when all of her team went back on, which I know there's another thing too. When the rest of her team went on because she didn't think that she was going to win. So I don't blame her for announcing it earlier. Also, too, I think that's fine that she announced it at the Grammys because, yes, the Academy votes on it, blah, 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 right? We've had our rant on how the fucking Grammys are determined, but at the end of the day, it really truly is the fans that she is putting all this stuff out for, too. And I think if you watch her Miss Americana documentary, she talks about this whole thing of like, well, what am I doing this for? Like, these awards, I'm getting all these awards and I'm still unhappy. Like, this doesn't fill my bucket that I want. And so I was fine with her doing her. And I think we are now back in the cycle of everyone hating Taylor Swift again. She got her 5 minutes of fame, right? Because she's only allowed 5 minutes because she's a fucking woman, right? She's only allowed 5 minutes, and now we're back onto the train of at the beginning of Reputation where everyone hates her. And I'm like, you know what? This cycle is just going to keep going on and on and on. And if she's just doing whatever she's doing, like, good for her, because she's still going to be making millions and billions. And I'm like, you know what? Do you, because you can't please everyone.
Agreed. I do have to mention the one thing that did rub me the wrong way a little bit. That also happened at the Grammys, and there was a lot of discourse. I agree that people love to hate on her, and she can't win, and people always take everything they say to a level that I'm like, you guys are ridiculous. But I did think it was interesting when she won Album of the Year. Celine Dion came out, one of the greatest like voices of all time, like one of the biggest artists, and then she had been battling like stiff person syndrome, so like no one knew she was going to be there. It was this huge surprise. And then like when Taylor went to accept the award, she didn't like say anything about Celine Dion, which she doesn't have to, so like fair, but she didn't even like acknowledge her at all. And that and a lot of people are saying, oh well, she was like excited, she was shocked, she was whatever, but she was in the moment enough to get Lana on stage and like do these other things. And so I will say I was a little disappointed that she didn't acknowledge her, but I also can understand people's pushback.
Yeah, I mean, I think too, like I said before, like she didn't expect to win Album of the Year, so I think she was so in her mind of like trying to get herself up there, but also her team. I think we also know that Taylor and also Beyonce too, they really, really recognize their teams. And I think they do such a good job of like every single person that makes their success as big as it is. And I think she was just trying to get as many people up there to be recognized because she knew it was a team effort. I think too, though, I agree with you that like, why does she have to always do that stuff publicly though? Like it was then revealed backstage that she had a whole conversation with Celine Dion and there were pictures. There didn't need to have to be pictures though, right? Like, but the fact that there was pictures of her proof, again, why does there have to be proof though?
Yeah, but then people thought like it was her PR team being on it of like, oh, that was weird. Now we have to get a picture of her out there right away. Like,
I don't think so. I think Taylor is very genuine in the fact that like she will give people the attention that she needs, but I think she was just so like frazzled. And then I think, I just know. Like
I get I'm not one of those people who's gonna like hate her for it and think she's some horrible person for it, but I still kind of hold to the fact that I think it was like not a great look.
Yeah. I think she's just scrutinized too much because if it was Ed Sheeran and he didn't acknowledge Celine Dion, I don't think anyone would have blinked an eye.
I don't know,
because it's Ed Sheeran.
I don't know, man.
The double standard fucking sucks.
I don't know. I still think it was a little weird.
Okay. Okay, but that is my first pop culture item.
Okay. My first pop culture item, which I don't have a whole lot to say about this, but I think it's worth mentioning. Toby Keith died of stomach cancer at age 62. Obviously, he's huge in the country music world. You and I both know we don't care about country music, so like it didn't make me feel any type of way. But I also know it was a very controversial death because he's made some like very controversial statements in the past, especially about like the religion of Islam and like all of that. And so I think there were a lot of mixed signals where a lot of people were honoring him, but then a lot of people are like, why are you honoring someone who like was not a good person?
I see. Yeah, I see. Got it.
It was very interesting to see, like, at least across my TikTok of, like, different people reacting to it. Like, because it was very, like, dual-sided, you know?
Got it. Yeah. None of that shit was showing up on my For You page. I've been getting a lot of like just dog stuff recently.
You know what? Good. Joy. Yeah.
Yeah. Nice. Okay. My second pop culture item is that we have been getting fed a lot of Bridgerton season 3 content. Which is crazy, okay? It is insane. It's like,
Just let it come out already.
I know. I think, here's the thing. I think because it takes so fucking long for these stupid seasons to come out, Netflix, I blame you. You're on my shit list. I think the reason it takes so long, I think that also factors into the fact that, like, I forget that I really love it. Like, I'm like, okay, whatever. And then new content comes out, and I'm like, oh my gosh, I forgot how much this consumed my life.
Literally. And like, and all I gotta say, I've been telling y'all hoes that you are gonna fall in love with Colin, and guess what? It's already happening. And I liked him.
Yeah, you were an OG. You were an OG. I will give you that.
So I hate to be that girl. It's like the girl who's like, I started listening to that artist before they were famous, so I'm better than you. It's kind of giving those vibes, but like, I'm gonna play that card because I did like him before the rest of y'all.
Yeah,
so.
yeah, and that's fine. There were a lot of Bridgerton men that you could pick from, so it's like all a gamble, you know.
I feel like you can't lose, honestly. That's the thing.
Oh no, you cannot.
Yeah.
You cannot. But no, I'm really excited. I think the clip that they had showed us or whatever was a conversation between Penelope and Colin, and I am so excited to see Ken's rage.
Yes, and to put him in his place.
Yes, and I think that clip really showed that I will be in for a treat because I love being petty. I also love gossiping. I also love being petty. Okay, and so I am just gonna ride so hard for Penn because like at this point. Yeah, like, make him fucking grovel. Like, he's been shitty.
And I think that's what we were talking about, like, way back before, where we're like, with this season, if she doesn't make him grovel and she doesn't make him work for it, it's going to be a huge disappointment. And I think that clip showed that, like, she is going to make him grovel and she is going to make him work for it.
Also, his little, I missed you. And then she just looked at him like, you fucking missed me? Like, I was like, yes, Penn, yes!
I'm so ready. Oh my gosh.
But yeah, that's all that I have for that.
Okay. The next one I want to talk about, I'm going to start with this one because this is a little more sad. King Charles was announced to be battling cancer. And I have to bring this up. I have to. I'm sorry, I can't not bring it up. There's this whole conspiracy theory. If you guys don't know, Trisha Paytas is like a huge social media star, okay? Yes. When she was pregnant with her first baby, who's now born and like almost 2 years old, I think, or almost a little past 1 year old, her name's Malibu. And when she was pregnant with Malibu, Queen Elizabeth died. And so everyone was joking like, oh, Malibu's Queen Elizabeth reincarnated. And now she's pregnant with her second kid, and all of a sudden King Charles has cancer, and she's having a boy. So they're like, or no, she's
having a boy.
No, she's having another girl. She is having a girl.
Okay,
right.
Okay.
But either way, now they're saying this next baby is going to be King Charles reincarnated. So like, it's so stupid. It's not true. But,
I know.
Like,
it's
the
fun.
Coincidence of it all is hilarious, and the fact that they even got started in the first place.
I know, and that it's still going.
I know.
It's all chance, but it's like still just happening. Honestly, it's really fun.
It is.
It's pretty fun.
It is.
Yeah.
That's all I have for that.
Okay. My next one is that Usher performed at the Super Bowl.
Yes.
The Super Bowl also happened, but who gives a fuck about football? Usher performed. Usher performed at the Super Bowl. Have you seen it? And what are your thoughts?
Yes. So I actually have a funny story about the Super Bowl because I was on a plane back from Minnesota while the Super Bowl was going on.
Yeah.
So I was watching it on the plane's crappy Wi-Fi on my iPad, and it cut out at the last 2 minutes, and then I logged back on once we landed, and all of a sudden they were in overtime, and I was like, what's happening right now?
Oh, yeah.
So I was watching it, but I did watch Usher's performance live, and there were a lot of things I liked about it, but there were things that I didn't. And I think it's so hard because I think we all forget that Usher for a majority of his career was R&B, like the slower, more like moody, like whatever songs. But it's also hard because like I understand why he chose what he did, and it's not like he didn't choose big hits, but I also think for the Super Bowl, you gotta just choose the crowd pleasers, the upbeat one, because like I feel like the Super Bowl isn't the stage to do the chill songs.
No,
like,
you need to understand your audience.
Yes, exactly. So like there were so many songs that we should have gotten more of. For example, More or Scream or DJ Got Us Fallen in Love. Like why wasn't Pitbull a surprise? Pitbull needs his own Super Bowl show.
Yes,
Seriously?
that's the thing.
Seriously, he does. He does. It would change lives. But I did honestly, one of the best parts of his thing to me was the end where like Lil Jon had his section and he sang Turn Down for What, and then all of a sudden they ended with like Ludacris. I thought that was the best part of it, but again, because it's upbeat, it's a crowd pleaser, like it was perfect for that audience.
Yeah, I mean that makes sense. It's funny because I guess I didn't realize that he had so many songs, like so many hits.
Yeah.
Like it's insane. So I understand why fitting everything was really, really hard. I do agree with you that I think he should have understood his audience just a little bit more and gone with his like more popular ones. Because again, it's not like your concert. Like I think people who go to your concert, they'll know all your fucking songs.
Yeah.
These are football fans. Like they only know your songs because they hear it on the radio sometimes or whatever, you know? But I thought it was fine. I think it's funny because I was seeing all these TikToks of like people just like loving it or whatever. And I just thought it was fine because I think when the majority of these songs came out, I was like 6 years old. And so I didn't really like hear them in the club like a millennial did, you know? So it's like, I thought it was fine. I will say he is a performer. Like he's like
he's made
born
for
a performer. Yes. So I was like very impressed with that. I did like all the guests. I love her. I think her guitar playing
that was so cool. But I think that's what people forget about her is that she's like literally a musical prodigy.
Yes,
like, not only is she an amazing singer, but like
yes,
yeah.
So I thought her guitar playing was amazing, amazing. Alicia Keys, Ludacris, Lil Jon, will.i.am, all that stuff.
will.i.am didn't come out.
Yes,
that was not will.i.am.
Yes, it was.
No, it wasn't. Selena, I'm telling you right now, there was one guy, his name started with a J, but people thought it was CeeLo Green. It was not.
It was will.i.am. That's a different guy. will.i.am was on the stage when everyone was skating.
Are you sure?
Remember? Yes.
Was will.i.am at the Super Bowl with Usher?
Because I know the fake CeeLo Green.
Yeah, he did. Okay, because everyone thought
it was CeeLo Green. It was not. Nope.
I just think that's so funny. Everyone's like, "Oh my god, it's CeeLo Green," and then that poor guy was like, "I'm not CeeLo Green."
Yeah. But yeah, no, will.i.am was on very, very briefly. It was when everyone was skating. That's why it was so chaotic. Yeah, he was in the back. You could not see him. I want to hear your thoughts on Alicia Keys, though.
I think that first note was horrendous. It's so funny
because
the copy of the Super Bowl performance they uploaded online, they like edited it.
Yeah.
But it to me, it's so unfortunate because I think the rest of it, she sounded so good. And we all know Alicia Keys is a good singer. So like, I think it was just a crappy moment to have a voice crack. But I think it was good.
I thought it was fine too. I honestly appreciated the voice crack because as a singer, that shit comes out of nowhere.
Yeah.
And so I really appreciated it. And people were just kind of like, not giving her shit, but they were like, oh my god, they fixed it. I'm like, yeah, they fix everything.
Yeah.
Like, you wouldn't even notice, but I appreciated it, Alicia,
Me too.
okay? Okay, I think that's it for that pop culture item.
Okay. My next one, also another not happy one, but then I promise the rest of mine are happy after this.
Okay,
but,
hopefully.
I feel like we talked about this at one point, multiple podcast episodes ago, but Ruby Franke, she got arrested with Jodi Hildebrandt for the child abuse case.
Yep.
They got their sentencing, and I think it's wild that both her and Jodi Hildebrandt got the same sentencing. So they got 4 to 60 years in prison. Mm-hmm. In my eyes, the fact that they could get parole in 4 years for what they did is insane. And I
Yeah.
also think the fact that Jodie didn't get more time than Ruby is also insane because of the lifestyle brand she was running, because of the false narrative she put out there,
Yes.
because of all the other lives that she infiltrated.
Impacted, yeah.
I think that she should have gotten more time. Also, she didn't even seem to have like that much remorse. Like, I just think that, like, we've talked about this before, and I'm not going to go into detail because it makes me sick to my stomach, but, like, when you do anything to kids, no matter what it is, like, screw you,
I'm
like
out.
that, you
Yep.
are the bottom of the barrel, like,
Yep, I don't care. Yep.
disgusting. So
Yep,
the
exactly.
fact that she could get out in 4 years
Yeah.
makes me sick. So
Yeah, it's
what are
horrible.
the people are in jail for much longer for much less, but then you're gonna get for 4 years? Screw you. Like, honestly.
I think they looked at it obviously with the kids, right? Because that's kind of like the main thing that got them under fire. I think what was hard for them to measure, though, is just, like you said, the impact, this brand that they were running, of how many people were listening to them. And I think
Yeah.
I understand, it is kind of hard to, like, see those metrics and see if they really did
That is
impact
true.
them in any way. I totally understand that, right? Because it's all, like, word of mouth, and then if the person actually acts upon or like enacts the principles that they were talking about.
Yeah.
But I think I'm with you too that, like, they should have at least gotten something more of because of their impact. Like, I just
Yeah. But I think you bring up such a good point, because it's like the other impact they have is much less measurable than the other stuff. So it's like, should they be in jail for longer because of all that other stuff? Absolutely. But what exactly? I don't know enough about the law to say, but it's like, what would you be charging them for?
Exactly. It's very sticky. I know.
Yeah. Ooh. So anyways, I just had to bring that up because I've been like very invested in that story.
Yeah. Wow. Yeah, I did see that. Okay, my next one is that still Super Bowl, but not the actual game. The Wicked trailer dropped and aired during the Super Bowl, and it was glorious.
It was amazing. I think it looks amazing. I think it'll be incredible. I am not here for people because obviously the whole trailer ended with the last Defying Gravity note. People are giving her crap for saying, like, why did you riff it? You didn't have to do that. But I'm like, have you
ever been to a Broadway show?
Have you ever been to a Broadway show? Number two, if you understand Alphaba's character and how she sings, it makes sense that would be like, what? It's not like the riff was so obnoxious that it didn't fit. Like, she growled it. She's like desperate. Like, it fits the moment. So it's not even like some of those times where you hear like pointless riffs. Like, I'm so done
I think
with
people
it.
are just upset it's not the original. And I'm like, I'm sorry. Have you never been to a Broadway show? Literally every single person who's in the role usually goes off the score. Like, they don't.
It's all about how you interpret the character.
Yes, exactly. Like, personally, my favorite Alphaba is Jessica Vosk. I love her. Right?
Her voice
Amazing.
is so clean. I saw her live. I told you that, right? Like, I
No,
saw
you
her.
didn't?
Yeah, she did a celebrity series in Boston. So my friend Katie and I went and saw her. Her voice is insane.
It's insane. No,
so clear.
I love her. Like, my personal Alphaba is Jessica, but I'm super excited for Cynthia. But the thing is too, it's that, like, Jessica changed the ending too. Like, her ending of Defying Gravity is probably one of my favorites ever. And so people are just like up in arms because it's not the original. And I'm like, you know what? Everyone can go do whatever the fuck you want. Whatever. Like, I'm just whatever.
Literally. I think in general it looked amazing. And I also just have to put this in because I'm sick of people saying, I'm not going to watch it because of what happened with Ariana Grande. And she ruined her favorite role of all time because of what she did. And I'm like,
what?
She didn't even do what you are accusing her of. Number two, get over it. So many people have done so much worse, and you get over that. Like, look at the freaking facts. Literally, I encourage anyone to look at the facts. But that's the crappy thing about the media is, like, people hold on to one idea, and then even when it's proven wrong, it's already there, and they can't forget about it. And I'm like, screw
it spreads
y'all.
like wildfire.
Like, if you don't want to watch a movie, fine. I'll go 5 more times. Screw you.
I'm not on that side of the media world. For like, I have not seen any of those comments. Honestly, I am very excited for Ariana Grande.
Me
In her
too.
role. She actually looked really good.
Yeah.
The only reason why I am reserved is because I really wasn't fond of her Penny in Hairspray. I think she did great vocally, but I didn't really love her acting, unfortunately. So I am giving her a new chance with Glinda. But the thing is, too, Glinda is very, very different than Penny. So, like, it's a whole different kind of playing field. So I feel like this might be a better role for Ariana Grande.
I was just gonna add that I think too, like when she did Penny, I also agree it wasn't the best because I almost think she played it too much like she did Cat in Victorious.
Yes.
So like I'm hoping that like with the vocal training she's gotten and like age and like all of that, like I hope that she brings like a little more maturity, but still like the ditziness that we like. You know.
Yeah, I agree. Love Michelle Yeoh. I totally forgot she was in this movie. I think she is fantastic from what I've seen. We only got literally like 0.1 seconds of Jonathan Bailey, but I am ready for him. So ready for him. I can't believe he's not for the girls.
I know.
Still,
we'll probably say that once an episode, but literally I still can't believe it.
I can't.
No.
I'm very excited though.
Me too.
So.
My next one, Madam Web. I haven't even seen the movie.
Our girl Dakota?
I love Dakota Johnson. I love her.
Yeah.
The reviews this movie have gotten are terrible. Like people are saying it's the worst movie they've seen in like a long time. Like I almost want to go see it. Like, just to see why everyone thinks it's so bad. But, like, literally people do not have enough bad things to say about it, it seems like. And it's almost like I was watching another podcast, actually, like a clip on TikTok, talking about a review that they had found on IMDb. And basically it was someone saying that, like, you could tell the acting got worse as it went on because they even knew how bad it was. So they stopped caring, basically.
Oh my god.
Which I think is insane. And you can tell, I feel like even Dakota Johnson hasn't seen the movie. She doesn't, I feel like you can tell she just knows that it's not
her press. Well, I mean, I think her press tours are always so
Yeah.
funny because she has a filter, but she doesn't have a filter either. And I think you can really tell with this press tour.
Yeah.
It's just like, nope, like she's not.
Yeah.
She's over it, which I'm
She
like,
is.
I don't blame you.
Yeah, agreed.
But yeah, no, I honestly, like, all the bad reviews actually makes me want to go see it.
Same. Yeah, 100%.
Okay. Honestly, more Super Bowl stuff, but still not about the
gosh.
game.
Oh my gosh.
Beyonce released 2 new tracks during the
Yeah.
Super Bowl and also released that she is dropping an album. I don't have the album date down. It's sometime in March, though.
Yes.
But it's a new album, and it's a country album, which has literally rocked the country community, and they are, like, shaking in their knees,
Yeah.
which, honestly, like, I don't understand, but whatever. It's like...
I think it's because they're like, this is our turf. Like, you don't do country, but, like,
and
also
that's
it's
icky
Beyonce.
for me.
Literally,
Yeah, that's
so icky.
Yeah.
I mean, Texas Hold'em went to like #1 on the country charts like
Yep.
right away.
Yep.
Yes. I will admit I haven't listened to either of the songs in full.
Yeah.
I've heard Texas Hold'em is going viral on TikTok right now. So I've heard a clip of that, and from what I've heard, does it sound like the best country song ever? No, but it sounds like a Beyonce country song. So it sounds like a country song that Beyonce would make, which is exactly what it's supposed to be.
Exactly.
So it's not going to sound like a normal country song that you hear.
Also, what is
singing.
normal country? Because every time
Exactly.
I've talked to someone, they're like, "Oh, Maren Morris is not country. It's X, Y, Z." I'm like, "Wait, what?"
People are
Maren
so weirdly
was pretty
protective
country.
Of, yeah.
I know. That's why I'm like, this is why I don't interact with the community, because I don't understand. I honestly do not understand, and I don't have what the guidelines that they've put down or whatever.
Literally.
Honestly, good for her. Beyonce was born in Texas and raised so it doesn't surprise me that she's making a country album. Like, this is her roots. I feel like it's just that like she's gravitated towards R&B, and honestly, like that's her that's her thunder. She can do R&B so well.
Yep.
These two songs also reminded me that she did Daddy Lessons on Lemonade, which is also a country album. So good. Literally so good. And I'm very, very excited. Like, I think Beyonce will actually get me to listen to country. Like, I will listen to country for her.
Okay, pop off. I love that.
Yeah. But that's it. Yeah.
Okay. My last one that I have, there's been a lot of news about Bridget Mendler lately. And if you guys don't know who Bridget Mendler is, she was a huge Disney Channel star. So she starred in Lemonade Mouth. She starred in Good Luck Charlie. We loved her. She also had like an album back in the day, or a couple albums back in the day. And people still love those songs.
Literally, I love her. I like developed this weird like obsession with her when her album dropped. Oh my God,
right?
So good.
So good. And now, so she literally, after she kind of left her acting, she went to Harvard and MIT, got like a PhD, all these things. So she's a doctor now. And now it just got announced two different things. One, she is now the CEO of a space startup company that is basically going to help like communication and space and all these things, which like I don't fully understand, but that's crazy. And it was also announced that back in, 2020, she adopted a 4-year-old boy. So she's a mom. And what literally can this woman not do? Act, sing, dance, become a doctor, start a be a mother.
It's insane.
What?
It's literally insane to me. Like she's
a
jack of all trades. I know, honestly. Like, what can she not do? It's so crazy. It's funny because I literally just watched the Studio Ghibli film that she voices, The Secret World of Arrietty, which is a fantastic fucking film. Because of Bridget, she was on my mind. I was like, oh my God, I should watch that movie because she voices the main character. And like, I just love her. She seems so incredibly happy. I'm really sad that like we don't have more music from her because I love her music. I love her voice. I think she has a fantastic range. But she seems happy. And honestly, if she's happy, then you do you, girl.
I know. She like I just literally am in awe of her. It's crazy.
I know. Yeah. Love her. Okay, I have two more items.
Alrighty.
So the first one is, I think like Disney had their whole expo or whatever. I don't really know. But they released that they're doing a Moana 2, which I know how you feel about Moana, and it's okay. I'll accept you for it. I'll still love you. It's fine. But it literally came out of nowhere. Like, they had this project under wraps. Like, I honestly thought...
I've known Moana 2 has been coming out for a while.
What? No, it's the live action.
No, it's a live action. Yeah, I knew. Wait, so is it Moana 2 or the live action?
Both. So they've released the they've been talking about the Moana live action, but then they released a trailer for Moana 2, which no one knew was happening.
Yes.
I was like, what's happening?
And then I've heard that Lin-Manuel Miranda is not working on Moana 2, but it's Barlow and Bear who, if you guys remember all that drama with like the Bridgerton musical and all of that. So
that was one of the things I wanted to talk about because again, going back to freaking Taylor Swift, damn if you do, damn if you don't. When it was released that Lynn is not attached to the project and it was Bear and Barlow, right? When it was released that he wasn't attached to the project, everyone's like, oh my God, this movie's gonna suck. Yep. The music's gonna suck, blah, blah. I'm sorry. When Moana first came out, everyone was like, "Oh, Lynn's attached to it. Ugh, I can't even
they give him so much crap," and I'm like, what
"Yes,
the heck?
I see that. That's what fucking pisses me off. It's like, damn if you do, damn if you don't. Just do whatever the fuck you want because everyone's gonna be upset no matter what you do.
Literally.
So at this point, I don't even care. He also got backlash too because he was oh crap. I don't remember what character he played, but he was on the Percy Jackson show on Disney Plus. He was one of the gods.
Poseidon?
No, I don't think so.
Okay.
But he was one of the gods and everyone was like, "Oh, Lynn is in it. Oh, he's going to ruin it." Blah 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 blah. I'm like, people And then guess what? Guess what? He did fantastic. People loved him in the role. I just like can't anymore with this backlash of like everyone just being so unhappy. I think I just need to remove myself from that echo chamber because I'm like, you know what? I'm gonna feel the way that I feel. Like, I think
have your opinion about it.
Yeah, exactly. Like I'm like sad that he's not going to be attached to Moana 2 because I really truly did love the music for Moana, and also I think Lin is just a musical genius.
I think it's really interesting that they don't have the same composer for both because like I feel like it's going to sound very different, and like between the same series and the same vibe you want to have that like continuity. So I'm very interested to see how that's going to
I agree because if you remember, Frozen and Frozen 2 had the same composers, the same couple who did it, and you can tell that it is very cohesive. But again, I am very excited for Bear and Barlow because I do truly love the Bridgerton soundtrack. Yeah. So I don't know. I just hate people. But is that anything new? No. And then the last thing is just a really quick thing. It's was finally released, the cast of Fantastic Four, and I personally think it's a hot lineup. Like I don't know if I'm gonna go see it because I'm kind of off the Marvel train now. Sure. But our guy Pedro Pascal is Reed Richards / Mr. Fantastic. Vanessa Kirby is Sue Storm, the Invisible Woman. Ebon Moss-Bachrach, I don't know if I'm saying his name right.
Yep, he's in the Bear.
Yep, as Ben or the Thing, and then Joseph Quinn is Johnny Storm, which is the Human Torch. I think it's interesting because I don't remember what I was trying to remember who everyone was fan casting right when it was announced that they were gonna do a Fantastic Four reboot. I couldn't remember who everyone had fan casted, but I also don't. I mean, like, I think this lineup is fine. I think the original Fantastic Four with Chris Evans is also great, too. Like,
I just think that original Fantastic Four, like, you can't beat that. Like, that was so personally... Like, you cannot beat Jessica Alba. You cannot beat Chris Evans. Like,
Jessica Alba? Oh.
Like, you can't. And I will say, I like... the guy from the Bear, Ebon, whatever his name is. I like him for that role.
Me too.
I think Joseph Quinn, people are crapping on it, but I'm like, give him the Marvel training schedule, let him beef up a little, and you're gonna love him.
Oh, he can beef up so easily.
But I think, I'm not gonna lie, I don't know if I like Pedro Pascal in the role of Reed. Yeah. But I'm allowing myself to be pleasantly surprised. But again, I think it's because I have the old cast in mind and it's like going to be impossible to beat. So I don't know that anyone's going to like live up to that because I like the original movie so much.
Yeah, no, you're right. I don't know. I trust Pedro. I trust him with my life too. So I'm excited. I wonder if like this will revive Marvel because it's not doing too hot right now. But with Madam Web and all that shit. But
Madam Web is Sony though. She's not a part of the MCU.
Oh, you're right. It's part of because isn't
so
the spoiler,
that's
like,
in the same
at
of
the
like
end or whatever.
Yeah, that she's in the same like world or like studio that makes Morbius, which is also trash. So.
Yes.
So
you're right.
Yeah.
Oh, that's why it's shit.
Yep.
Okay, got it.
Yeah. But wow, I think that's it, right?
Yeah, I think that's a lot of pop culture stuff that happened.
Pop culture, but I'm glad we were able to catch up. I'm glad we're recording again. I missed it. But do you want to tell everyone what we'll be talking about next week?
The next time our episode comes out, I don't know when, but we will be talking about Upgraded, which is the rom-com movie with Camila Mendes on Amazon Prime, and it currently has the highest rating on Rotten Tomatoes as a rom-com. And I'm very excited because I love me a good rom-com.
Me too.
Is the 85% on Rotten Tomatoes like really true? Like, you don't let me down, Rotten Tomatoes.
Yeah.
Like, I need this to be good.
I know. So I'm excited to see what happens. See if we like it. Excited to hear our thoughts. But just a reminder again, this next episode is not going to come out next week, but the week after. So correct. Just a reminder. Yep. Alrighty. Well, thank you guys so much for listening, and we'll see you in 2 weeks.
Bye.